All right, so Knicks played it back to back. Let's just talk about it. First night, not gonna lie, I doubt you care. I kinda don't care, but it was versus the Sixers, so that is why we collectively don't really care. They're really bad. Like it's pretty funny how bad the Sixers are. Like the best hate watches are not when the team is like awful, okay? So that's why I am of the opinion this year's Sixers hate watch has just been like kind of bad. Like you want your hate watch to have like a level of stakes. You don't want it to just be like, oh, let me tune into this awful team. Like, yes, I still enjoy the fact that they're awful. However, I would have liked to have at least a little bit of stakes, like hate watch in the playoffs is like a different level, versus in the regular season. It's just like, oh, sure, whatever. Yeah, they suck. But yeah, like for example, my greatest hate watch, the 2021 Nets, okay? Because let's be honest with ourselves here, fellas, if the Nets don't die in the second round, they're going to win a ring. Okay. So that's why when they actually did lose, it was a great day. Okay. The birds are chirping, the flowers are blooming. It was a fantastic afternoon. Well, it was night, but the next day was incredible. Just one of the best days ever. Okay. Kevin Durant lost, airballed, all that stuff. Great day. Shout out to the Bucks for doing that, by the way. Anyway, no more hate watch talk. The game itself was like I really kind of didn't even pay attention. I know I probably should have. That's kind of why I'm here to talk about it, but it's really not anything you all need to, obsess over. OG is good. That was nice to see. He scored a lot. Mitch hit a Euro step in transition, which is just like, dude, how are you this bad? How are you letting Mitchell Robinson hit Euro steps on you? Like this is genuinely embarrassing. You're a joke to the NBA, okay? And quite frankly, this couldn't happen to a better team. All right. I know I said the hate watch got boring, but I am still very happy that this is happening, okay? Because the Philadelphia 76ers is just, from top to bottom, is just a complete clown show of an organization, okay? Daryl Morey is a loser. Joel Embiid is a massive loser. Kelly Oubre, he's not really a loser. I think it's funny the one time Clyde Frazier said he got hit by a car just out of the blue. Kyle Lowry, he's kind of a loser on the floor, but at least I could respect his veteran presence. Paul George, massive loser, by the way. Please keep doing the podcast. So that is hilarious. Your team is just awful, and he's out here doing podcasts. And after that, I mean, I don't really dislike anyone else, but it's just like Joel Embiid and Daryl Morey are just such massive clowns. And how could I forget Nick Nurse? Okay, that guy. My goodness. Since like I thought I disliked JB Biggerstaff after that Cavs series. JB Biggerstaff is fine in my book now. Nick Nurse is still a gigantic, massive loser. That guy is such a clown. Please do not get me started on him. Anyways, big, not big, but a win versus the Sixers in night one of a back-to-back. Very enjoyable. New York, of course, owns Philadelphia. And no, we don't count CT ball. That's fake. All right, and just to kind of like set the tone for what happened in Cleveland, Mitchell Robinson did not play. Second night of a back-to-back, still returning from ankle surgery. Cat did not play the first night versus the Sixers. He did play versus Cleveland, but otherwise just kind of the same rotations, Top 3 point guards, Brunson, Payne, McBride, all out. Delon Wright, minimum wage, not minimum wage, minimum salary point guard got the start. And really, this game versus the Cavs is just literally every single game the Knicks have played versus a contender. Except, I will say, they did come out strong, okay? They did play well in the first quarter, kind of the first, 16 or so minutes. They were kind of, the beneficiaries of shot variance, okay? Because in the first quarter, everyone was hitting threes, okay? We all had the team collective, microwave on. I it was a very fun watch, I'm not gonna lie. I was expecting it to kind of, come crashing down after a while, but it was fun for the first 16 or so minutes. As per usual, that didn't last, however. And once the second half hit, quite frankly, I think a high school team would be better at running offense. I mean, every single time down, it takes about 18 seconds to get into a set. And guess what the set is? It's nothing crazy. It's just, hey, here's a pick and roll at the top of the key. Go cook. I don't even think Michael Jordan can succeed with this kind of offense. Like, what are we doing? You think OG I love OG Anunoby. He's hooping lately. He is not the kind of guy you just say, here's the ball with 6 seconds on the clock. Go get me a bucket. Like, that's not gonna work. Okay? And I can't even get too much on him because he was incredible in the first half, okay? And again, this is not what kind of player he is, okay? You can't do this to OG and expect him to actually be this level of shot maker and creator, okay? So this is not a commentary on him. He was fantastic, okay? But Mikal Bridges now, okay? On a night where your point guard is DeLon Wright and a rookie playing in like his 6th game, okay? You do not have this kind of steadying presence out there. You don't have this vet who is going to be like, okay, fellas, let's calm down here. This is what we're going to do. We're going to get into this set with this amount of time on the shot clock, and it's going to run as smoothly as we can make it, okay? Mikal Bridges shot the ball 6 times. 6. That is just unacceptable, okay? You need to be more demanding, okay? I understand point of attack defense all night. It's not easy, okay? But sometimes when Tyler Kolek is out there fighting for his life versus one of the best teams in basketball, you just have to go out there and go help him and just be like, hey, pass me the ball. I got it, okay? You can't be this passive. It's not acceptable, okay? It just isn't, okay? And over this recent stretch since Brunson has went out, he hasn't been this passive. And that's really when his game started to take up. So for this to happen tonight is just unacceptable. We definitely need more next time out. Precious Achua, my God, dude. I don't understand it. I really don't. Did all of our centers really have to die? Like, he's really not that good. I don't understand it. Like, God bless his heart. He's not good versus good teams. He's just not, okay? And you're really not helping him by playing him at the 4 every single time. At the 5, maybe he could do you something. At the 4, he's just awful. And for some reason, you keep playing him at the 4. So, this really all boils down to one Thomas Thibodeau, who cannot coach offense for the life of him. So, unless he has a divine intervention moment and, the ghost of coaching past comes and visits him and tells him how to coach offense in the next, I don't know, 2 weeks, we're going to lose in the second round to the Celtics and we're going to get spanked while doing it. So there's really not much more to say. This has been one of the most, I don't want to say bad seasons of the Knicks because it's not. We're going to win 50 games. It's a good season. However, with the talent on this roster and the fact that you have not made any attempt to maximize it in the slightest, this is by far and away one of the most boring and kind of like hopeless Knicks seasons ever because what the ceiling is. It's going to happen. They're going to get clapped by the Celtics, and you're not even going to be close. You're not going to compete. You're not going to try anything. Heck, he might try something with like, I don't know, like 5 minutes left in the elimination game when we're getting clapped in Game 4 by the Celtics. Maybe then he'll try something, but until then, we're really just we're up a river with like nuclear waste and no paddle. That is the situation we find ourselves in. And I'm not one to complain about the refs because we were going to lose either way, but my God, the refs were awful, okay? They were just, Jesus Christ, they're off in their own on their own like world. I don't know what they were doing. Just awful game by them. Again, we did not lose because of the refs, but they were just awful tonight. All right, so just kind of quick recap of that back-to-back. Sixers game once again, tanking team, can't really take too much away from that. And I really do not want to watch the Cavs game again, so no film on that one. But really just, I've said it many, many times, however, the crux of the problem with the New York Knicks is they cannot generate high percentage looks every single time down, okay? That is the main problem. They don't adjust, okay? And it's really telling because teams like OKC, Boston, Cleveland, they are constantly trying new things, showing new looks, deploying new coverages. We do none of that, all right? Just absolutely none of it. We do the same thing over and over and over again, okay? And it falls on coaching. Nobody else, okay? Tom Thibodeau is not maximizing the roster we have at our disposal, okay? And he is failing his players every single night by trying to force them into roles they cannot do. Karl Anthony Towns cannot play drop coverage. Josh Hart should not be the fifth starter. He should be the sixth man, okay? God bless their hearts. They're trying. It's not for a lack of effort. They are definitely trying. Effort has never been questioned here on the New York Knicks, okay? But they cannot do it. You're forcing square pegs into round holes here, okay? You're forcing them to do things they cannot do, and I really can't keep going on about Tom Thibodeau every day, but I mean, who else can we blame it on? He's the guy who's telling them what to do. So, anyways, Knicks play again tomorrow. Another back to back. Real great job, Adam Silver. You know, multiple back to backs in the season. Go right ahead. Beating women. Go right ahead. Pedophilia. A-OK. Ja Morant doing a gun celebration, though. Oh, nah, nah, nah. Get out of here, man. Give me 75K. No, we can't be having that. Like, guy's such a bald loser. Anyways, Jalen Brunson is questionable, so my joy is back for about 3 weeks until we get clapped by the Celtics. So, anywho, have a great day, I don't know. Go outside, take a walk. Enjoy life, really. I've been sick, so I am very happy that I can now talk again. This is great. I can talk more and more about my favorite guy, Tom Thibodeau. Anyways, let's just, I don't know, let's stay alive, I guess. Appreciate your time.